ever feel that sudden pull in your chest, like something shifting in the air, even though nothing around you has changed? That's how men usually sense it long before they logically understand it. The quiet truth is this. When a woman starts thinking about you nonstop, you feel it in your body way before she ever admits it with her mouth. And if you've been wondering whether she's secretly replaying your name in the back of her mind, listen closely because the signs are never loud, but they are unmistakable. Most men completely misunderstand what it looks like when a woman can't get them out of her head. They imagine bold moves, obvious messages, dramatic confessions, but women don't reveal obsession the way men do. When she's thinking about you nonstop, it leaks out in the small cracks of her behavior. Those tiny moments she hopes you'll never notice because noticing them would expose how deeply she actually feels you. And the first sign is this: she gets quieter around you, not loud, because for a woman, desire is terrifying when it's real. She isn't scared of texting you first. She's scared of caring more than she planned to. When a woman starts thinking about you constantly, her mind becomes restless. She replays your last conversation. She rewrites what she should have said. She imagines what you meant by that one look you gave her. And because she's trying to protect herself, she pretends to be fine on the surface. So she posts something subtle, hoping you'll see it. She sends a message that doesn't sound emotional at all, but if you read between the lines, it's loaded with the fear of not knowing where she truly stands with you. Women don't crave attention from a man they're obsessed with. They crave clarity, and when they don't have it, they start to spiral internally. That's when you'll notice her timing change. She responds faster than before, then suddenly slower. She looks at your stories instantly, then disappears for a day. She's not being inconsistent. She's battling herself because every time she thinks about pulling away, her heart drags her back toward you, and every time she thinks about getting closer, she feels the risk of losing herself in you. A woman, why her mind keeps returning to you, thinking about you nonstop, becomes incredibly sensitive to your energy. If your tone shifts even slightly, she feels it. If you seem distracted, it unsettles her. If you sound colder than usual, she thinks she did something wrong, but around you, her guard is half down, even when she's trying to hold it up. Her voice softens. Her eyes linger longer than she intends. She leans in without realizing it. She remembers details you forgot you even mentioned. That's not friendliness. That's emotional imprinting. And here's the part most men don't know. When a woman can't stop thinking about you, she becomes protective of your image in her mind. She'll defend you in conversations even when she shouldn't. She'll compare other men to you even when she doesn't want to. She'll imagine what life would feel like with you, then scare herself with how real it feels. She'll even try to distract herself with work, friends, or hobbies, but nothing fully pulls her attention away from the way you made her feel. Women don't obsess over men who merely look good or talk smooth. They obsess over men who make them feel safe, seen, and yet slightly uncertain, because uncertainty ignites curiosity, and curiosity fuels mental attachment. If she's thinking about you nonstop, it's because you triggered something she hasn't felt in a long time. The rare mix of comfort and danger, the comfort of your presence and the danger of losing it. If what you just heard feels uncomfortably familiar, if it reminds you of a specific woman in your life, then the signs are already there. Before I move into the next part, answer this in the comments. Do you think she's showing these signs with you, or do you feel like you're imagining it? And if this resonates, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend who needs to hear this. Now, let's get brutally honest. Most men completely misread the signals when a woman is thinking about them nonstop. They see a text, a smile, or a like on social media and think she's just being nice. But the truth is far deeper. When a woman obsesses over a man, it isn't in her words. It's in the spaces between her words. It's in the subtle way she tracks your life without ever letting you know. The small mental notes she keeps about your preferences, your routines, even your fears. That mental inventory is not casual. It's proof she can't stop herself. Think about the last time she unexpectedly remembered something you mentioned once and brought it up later. Most men shrug it off as coincidence. But no, when She's thinking about you nonstop. She notices everything: the way you laugh, the way your eyes flicker when you're excited or irritated, the little quirks that make you uniquely you. She catalogs these details silently, storing them for moments she might never emotional imprinting and mental replay admit to, but moments she can't stop reliving in her mind. That's how obsession begins. Um, Not with bold moves, but with quiet, relentless observation. Then there's the emotional mirror effect. Women who think about you constantly start reflecting your energy before you even realize it. If you're happy, she smiles to herself. If you're upset, she feels it. If you're distant, she questions herself for hours. She interprets every pause, every delayed message, every casual gesture as meaningful. Men often mistake this for overthinking or drama, but it's not. It's emotional attunement. It's the unconscious way. Her mind keeps you in focus because she doesn't want to lose the connection, even if she can't fully articulate it. And here's the next layer: most men never catch. When a woman is preoccupied with you, she tests herself constantly. She asks herself, am I caring too much? Am I crossing a line? She tries to create distance, but her mind pulls her back. She tries to pretend she's unaffected, yet she's aware of every interaction with you. Every time she sends a message, even a casual one, she replays it in her head a dozen times. Every time she posts something vaguely related to your interests, she waits to see if you notice. Every shared laugh, every remembered moment, it all loops in her mind over and over. That's how obsession builds, quietly, persistently, invisibly. When a woman can't stop thinking about you, she also starts guarding her emotions fiercely. She wants to show interest without revealing how much she cares. She wants to draw closer without seeming desperate. That's why you'll see moments where she seems distant immediately after moments of warmth. She's balancing the magnetic pull toward you against her fear of being too vulnerable. Men often misinterpret this push pull as confusion, but it's actually emotional calculation born from fascination, desire, and a recognition that losing herself in you is dangerous and intoxicating all at once. And the final, most overlooked sign: she will imagine scenarios with you that she never shares with anyone. She runs through conversations in her head, imagines dates, imagines fights, imagines intimacy, not just physical intimacy, emotional, intellectual, psychological. She studies how you would react, how it would feel to have your attention exclusively, how life would shift if you became a bigger part of her world. She may never say these things aloud, but her imagination betrays her. If she's thinking about you nonstop, she lives in a parallel reality where you occupy the center of her thoughts and nothing else quite competes. This is why so many men completely underestimate the power of female obsession. It's quiet, it's invisible, it's relentless, and it's often impossible to spot unless you know exactly what to look for. The moments when she seems distracted, the moments when she seems distant, they are often the very moments she is mentally circling back to you, replaying every detail of your last interaction, craving the next one, analyzing your every behavior. Here's a question for you. If subtle signs she can't hide, she's thinking about you nonstop, what do you think she notices first? Your actions, your words, or the energy you give off? Write your answer in the comments below, and remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend who needs to hear the truth about female psychology. Here's the part most men completely miss. When a woman is thinking about you nonstop, it's not always about attraction in the shallow sense, it's about emotional imprinting. She has stored pieces of you in her mind that nobody else can touch. Your laugh, your voice, the way you make her feel, these aren't fleeting. They linger in her subconscious, shaping her moods, her desires, even the choices she makes without realizing it. That's why a woman can seem calm, casual, even indifferent, while in reality, every second her brain keeps circling back to you. The mind of a woman obsessed is hyper-aware. She notices patterns, the way you talk to strangers, the way you treat friends, the way you react under pressure. She studies these patterns silently because she's instinctively trying to figure out if you're safe, worthy, and consistent. Most men think this is overanalyzing, but it's not. It's a subconscious, almost neurological imprinting. She's mapping you in her mind to predict your behaviors, to feel secure in a connection she's already obsessing over. And let's talk about triggers because women rarely tell you what triggers their thoughts about you, but it's obvious if you know how to read it. A song plays, and suddenly she's thinking about a conversation with you. A meme appears, and she imagines sharing it with you. A stranger laughs, and she remembers something funny you said. Men mistake these moments as coincidence or random thoughts. But the truth, she is mentally running you through every scenario, every memory, every potential future. She's constantly interacting with you in her head, even when you're not physically present. When obsession takes hold, a woman will test her control in small ways. She'll send subtle hints, an unexpected text, a joke with hidden meaning, a look that lasts a beat too long. She wants to see if you notice because acknowledgement reinforces her internal loop. If you notice, it validates her mental energy. If you don't, she recalibrates and tries again. This is not manipulation. It's the natural way the mind seeks emotional connection when attachment is growing stronger than her conscious control. And here's the harsh reality most men don't want to face. When a woman is thinking about you nonstop, she can feel both drawn to you and frustrated by her own attachment. She may avoid calling or texting because she fears revealing how much she actually cares. She may act indifferent because showing vulnerability terrifies her. But internally, she's replaying every interaction, analyzing every word, and mentally rehearsing what she wants to say, even if she never says it. The push-pull is a reflection of the intensity of her thoughts, not her lack of interest. The most dangerous mistake a man can make is assuming that silence or distance means disinterest. In fact, it often means the opposite. Women obsess quietly. They think about the men they care about more when they can't. The silent obsession women never admit have immediate access to them. Absence intensifies the mind's fixation. So if she steps back, she's not necessarily losing interest. Her brain might be running a full emotional simulation of you 24/7, weighing risks, imagining futures, and testing boundaries, all without ever sending a single text. And this is where men need to be strategic, but also empathetic. Recognizing these signs isn't about exploiting obsession. It's about understanding the depth of emotional energy she's investing. A woman who is mentally consumed by you is offering something rare: her attention, her focus, and a version of herself that few others will see. How you respond to that, whether with calm confidence, emotional clarity, and subtle mystery, will determine whether she becomes fully invested or retreats under the weight of her own thoughts. So, here's the personal question for you to answer in the comments. Do you think she is thinking about you because of what you do or because of who you are at your core? Take a moment and reflect. Then write your answer below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend who needs to see the reality of female psychology. Now, let's strip away the fluff and face the raw truth. When a woman can't stop thinking about you, it isn't just mental, it's physiological. Her brain is literally wired to replay your presence. Every thought of you triggers dopamine, the same chemical that floods the brain when people experience pleasure or anticipation. That's why you'll notice her energy shifts around you, why her eyes light up at your name, why her pulse quickens when she hears your voice. Men underestimate this because it's invisible, but the body doesn't lie. She may act casual, but internally every nerve is tuned to your frequency. This internal fixation changes how she perceives other men too. Suddenly, conversations with others feel less engaging. Texts from someone else seem dull. Compliments from strangers don't register the same way. She subconsciously compares every interaction to the one she has or imagines having with you. And here's the kicker, she might even test you without knowing it herself. Does she post something provocative? Does she gauge your reaction? Does she step back to see if you notice? These aren't manipulations, they are emotional experiments she's conducting because you dominate her thoughts more than she's willing to admit. Another overlooked truth is how women cling to memory. She will remember your habits, your phrases, even the smallest details you dismissed. That memory becomes a blueprint in her mind. The way you tilt your head when you think, the words you use casually, your laughter, the scent you leave behind, it all imprints deeply. This isn't surface attraction, this is mental embedding, the kind of obsession that continues even when she's trying to focus on work, friends, or other distractions. You are quietly everywhere in her mental landscape. And here's what men consistently misread. Her inconsistency is not a reflection of disinterest, it's proof of intensity. She will pull away only to circle back. She will act nonchalant only to give a look that betrays her attention. How women test their own feelings, will engage minimally, then overcompensate later. That oscillation, that's her mind's way of managing obsession without surrendering completely. Men think they need to decode this. They don't. They need to understand that it's natural and that this back and forth is often a subconscious tug of war between desire and fear. When a woman is mentally consumed by a man, she starts to imagine possibilities she might never voice. She runs through conversations, future scenarios, even arguments. She predicts how you might respond to decisions you haven't made yet. Her imagination becomes a rehearsal space for your presence. And if she catches herself smiling at these thoughts, she often masks it. She doesn't want anyone, sometimes not even herself, to know how deeply she's affected. That's why the signs are subtle, hidden in micro behaviors and fleeting expressions. Here's where most men fail. They wait for confirmation, they wait for a declaration, a confession, or a dramatic signal. But when a woman obsesses quietly, confirmation is internal, not external. The proof is in the little things. Her timing, her attentiveness, her subtle attempts to intersect with your life. The fact that she can't stop running scenarios about you in her mind is evidence of emotional investment, far beyond casual interest. And the more she hides it, the more intense the mental imprint becomes. The bottom line is this: if she is thinking about you nonstop, she is already emotionally and mentally entwined. She may fight it, she may act indifferent, but the truth is written in her body, her patterns, her timing, and her imagination. If you recognize this energy and respond with the right balance of calm, confidence, and subtle emotional pull, you can move from being a thought in her mind to becoming someone she cannot stop thinking about in every dimension of her life. Here's a question for reflection. Are you aware of how much she is noticing about you, even in moments you thought she wasn't? Write your answer in the comments and make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend who needs this reality check about female psychology. Now, let's confront the unspoken truth. When a woman is thinking about you nonstop, it's not something she can control. And that's what makes it so powerful. She might try to distract herself with friends, work, or social media, but her mind inevitably drifts back to you. And the moments when she doesn't reach out, when she seems distant, are the very moments she's mentally replaying everything you've said, everything you've done, and everything you might do. That's the hidden intensity most men never see, and it's why understanding this dynamic is essential if you want to truly connect. A woman obsessing over you will start noticing patterns in your behavior that even you forget. She'll remember how you pause before answering a question, the way you gesture when you're excited, the way your tone shifts subtly when you're annoyed. These small, seemingly insignificant details become magnified in her mind. She analyzes them, stores them, and revisits them repeatedly. Men often dismiss this as overthinking, but it's not. It's her subconscious measuring emotional compatibility, attraction, and trustworthiness all at once. And here's a subtlety most men completely overlook. What you must do now, women who can't stop thinking about you, often engage in mental simulations of your future together. She imagines conversations, scenarios, even conflicts, and replays them to see how she would react, how you might respond. This isn't idle fantasy. It's a mental preparation for connection. Her mind is testing the chemistry, the tension, the possibilities, all without a word spoken. And the more she imagines, the more entrenched you become in her emotional world. Another crucial point: when a woman is mentally obsessed with you, she starts guarding you in ways you'll rarely notice. She'll speak well of you to friends, even defending you when you're not present. She'll highlight your strengths subtly, sometimes even exaggerate them in her mind, and she'll compare other men, sometimes unconsciously, because her thoughts always return to you as the baseline. This is a sign of attachment, admiration, and desire rolled into a package most men miss entirely. But here's the truth: you must accept. Obsession alone doesn't guarantee connection. You can be the center of her mind, yet remain on the periphery of her life. If you don't understand the psychological push pull at play, the key is subtle emotional control, consistency, and strategic presence. You don't need grand gestures. She's already captivated mentally. What she craves is stability, clarity, and the right mix of intrigue and security. That combination solidifies her thoughts into emotional action, and let's not sugarcoat it. This is a double-edged sword. If she's thinking about you nonstop, she's vulnerable just as you are. She might pull away suddenly, act indifferent, or create space out of fear of losing herself in you. That's natural. The intensity of her thoughts can sometimes feel like turbulence for both of you. Men who recognize this, who remain composed while respecting her internal, final question for you world, gain the most powerful emotional leverage. They don't manipulate, they understand, respond, and allow the mental obsession to translate into emotional attachment organically. So, here's the final lesson. If a woman is thinking about you nonstop, you're already on her mind more than you realize. You have the rare opportunity to be someone unforgettable if you respond with awareness, patience, and subtle strategy. Small gestures, consistency, and emotional intelligence will make her mental preoccupation a permanent feature of her emotional landscape. She will replay you in her mind not just today, but tomorrow, next week, and long into the future. Now, here's a personal question for you. If she's thinking about you nonstop, what will you do differently today to make sure you become someone she can never stop thinking about in reality, not just in her mind? Write your answer in the comments below. And don't forget, subscribe and share this video with a friend who needs to understand female psychology, obsession, and emotional dynamics. This is the knowledge most men never see.